We're going to take you to Newcastle. We're hearing from 7 nurses from Darlington who've won their case against an NHS trust after a transgender colleague was allowed to use female changing rooms. Let's listen.
The whole time.
What message does it send more broadly?
I think it sends a message of, organisations need to wake up now. They need to listen to women. They need to provide routes for women to actually safely and respectfully be able to raise their concerns around this situation.
I'm Kate Hello. So the Tribunal rejected your claims that Rose Henderson had personally harassed or victimised you. Do you accept that part of the judgment? Will you try to appeal it? Do you regret bringing any of the claims against Rose?
Might leave that to you, Andrew.
It is a bit too early to say. I'm Pavel Stroyov, I'm a solicitor representing the nurses. It's a bit too early to discuss appeals before you've read the judgments. Generally, I don't think there is much of a feeling in the room of being unhappy. And what the tribunal says is the trust has let down both those nurses and Rose as well by putting them in the same changing room, so that women have perceptions which are real, but they're not making any personal findings against Rose. And for my clients, it has never been personal. It's always been about the trust letting down both sides in this, and about the policy. And this is completely in tune with what the tribunal says now. So we don't envisage at this point that there is anything to appeal about.
No, because what's also absolutely clear is that these nurses were believed. And the fact that there was a man in their changing room was real, and that the very thought of that or encountering that as a reality was something that violated their dignity. Mm-hmm. So that is a real shift in terms of the jurisprudence, in terms of where we've been in the law for a time now. It's absolutely clear. And I think that as a result of that, this has been a long battle, hard fought, for something that is really very obvious and ought to be plain. But it's also just it's a victory for everyone who works in the NHS, for men and for women, in fact. So they are delighted, and I think it actually leads to the future being a situation whereby policies across the NHS need to be secure and safe for all employees of the NHS, and that is something that these amazing nurses have been asking for, both to Wes Streeting, the Health Secretary, and the Minister for Women and Equalities. So they've been speaking to people at the highest levels of government, and indeed to the shadow cabinet as well. So we hope that we will see the implementation of NHS guidance now quickly and swiftly as a result of this. We don't need more cases around this. We've had the Supreme Court ruling, Sandy Peggy, this case, we've got the case of Jennifer Melley pending. These cases, there needs to be a stop to these cases. It's clear here, biological men are men, women are women, and that should be clearly recognised in NHS policy.
Can I ask you how you feel personally about that aspect of the judgment? I mean, when we spoke previously, you had some quite strong feelings about what you said was Rose's behaviour and changing. How do you feel about the fact that the personal claims of harassment and victimisation were denied?
I'm not massively concerned that they haven't upheld those concerns. I mean, obviously it's disappointing, but I think it was we never wanted to hurt Rose. We never wanted to hurt him. So, as far as we're concerned, it was the trust who put him in that situation. Yeah. We know what happened. We know what was true. So we just have to accept it, I think.
Is this where your fight end now, or will you be continuing to campaign?
Well, we've got our union, so obviously we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, we hope that the rest of the NHS follows suit with dealing with the situation, with making safe spaces for women. But obviously, we are aware that it's happening elsewhere. So you know, we will have to see see whether they comply.
And on that point, can I just ask you how you feel about the delays in the government bringing in official guidance about single-sex spaces? I know the Equalities Watchdog has already given guidance to them. That's not happened yet. How do you feel about that?
I think it's quite frustrating, isn't it? They're clearly dragging their feet, and they need to pick up the pace. This is not a difficult thing to work out. It's pretty simple, and I think this ruling has shown that.
Can I ask, what's the public's reaction been to the proceedings, and how much support do you think you've had?
We've had a lot of support, haven't we? Yeah, there's been lots of cards sent to the hospital, lots of letters, things on X, social media, and the support from the public has been amazing. We're very, very grateful for it.
And having watched the proceedings, it was clear to me that the Trust did actually look at times to get advice and to try and find a way through. Do you think that there was a lack of national guidance that the Trust suffered from? Or not?
Yes, I mean, for me, the Trust were completely incompetent in this arena, and that's all I have to say on that.
I suppose just to follow that, is it your perspective that things have changed, not better at the Trust? Is it a better situation for you all in light of what's happened and what's been heard?
Communication hasn't improved at all. We've received no communication from management. Up until, I think, today an email went out to say that the ruling was imminent. But otherwise, nobody from management has communicated anything to us, which has been the case all the way through.
Has there been any progress in, I guess, the situation with regard to the changing rooms and that sort of thing?
So he has been moved into another changing room, so we've been told.
That's not true, though. We haven't been told.
Well,
we weren't told anything.
We've been told by other colleagues, but nobody from management, nobody involved in this case has told us. We've found out through word of mouth.
There's still not a policy in place, so
Yeah, still no policy.
who knows what's going on.
So Rose Henderson still works at the hospital. Is it, and you still encounter Rose Henderson in your work? How has it been and how will it be?
We have to be professional. We are there for the patients.